All right, time now for recruiting. We've got Otis Kirk in here. Otis, what's up, man? You doing really well today?
I am.
All
doing
right,
well.
man. You know, let's talk about the fact that this is an Arkansas team that had three of its coaches at games over the weekend. Oakland beat Blackman 24-14. Central beat Opelika 28-0. Douglas County beat Langston Hughes 7-0. But let's go to the middle part there because Monte Spivey is a hog commit. In fact, we were right there in his vicinity, and he had 3 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah.
Special player. Just kind of touch on him, and then these other coaches as far as the other games they were at.
Well, he had 155 yards rushing, as you said, 3 touchdowns. That's on 17 carries. He caught a couple of passes for 9 yards. Spivey is the only running back committed in this class, and probably the only running back they take. You know, they're sitting pretty well with a bunch of underclassmen there. But yeah, he's got good speed, got good size. Decent size, not huge, but he's got the combination that you look for. That, and Jeff Traylor got to see that game, and so I'm sure he was impressed with what he saw. John Scott was, got to see Matthias Soley, and I mean that's a kid. Soley's a kid that his dad played here, junior. I actually knew his dad, and I mean, just unbelievable player.
Yeah.
Soley's putting up video game numbers at defensive line. And then, of course, the other game had, Adonis, and had Trey Knox, had Woody Washington in that game. Washington got the best of those 2 guys, and that was their first loss, Knox and them's first loss of the season.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, you kind of mentioned the running back situation. Again, it's a crowded backfield as it is for the Hogs currently, but, a kid like Spivey, who knows, he could present some sort of wow factor for you coming in.
Yeah, he comes in, he offers a combination, a guy who can catch the ball, he can run with, he got good speed. Yeah, he'll be a good rotation back, rotate in there and get some carries, and then, gradually as he gets older, he'll get more carries. He'll get to be an upperclassman then, but yeah, he's someone I think can help him next year.
Okay, we talked a lot about these guys, and for some unknown reason, these injuries keep popping up. We talked about Jalen Catalan, who is not committed to Arkansas. Arkansas is in the mix to perhaps land him, but Catalan is something special, a defensive back out of the state of Texas. But we're talking about another injury this time. From Mansfield Legacy, it is Enoch Jackson up front. And, of course, being on the D-line, he breaks his wrist.
Yeah, you think we're talking about it. How do we think the Legacy coach thinks about it?
Right.
I bet he is he's probably pulling his hair out like, what have I done to deserve this? You start out with all those D1 prospects, and now you're losing them one by one. And Catalan was his quarterback, too, so it wasn't like he just lost maybe the best safety in the country. He also lost his quarterback. But, yeah, Jackson's a kid that's committed to Arkansas. I love him because of his motor. Yeah. But yeah, he's going to miss some broken wrists. So, I mean, he's going to be out for a while, I guess. And, there's ways of putting Cab. I don't think you'll put him out there for a while. And so that's going to be another one that Legacy lost. They're just, they're just losing them. And they got beat again Friday night. And they're losing players that they thought they would have this season. That makes it tough. You start losing players, key players.
A big attribute of Enoch Jackson, I've heard you mention this in the past on this recruiting report, and that is that he just doesn't seemingly ever give up on the play. No. So that's something special.
No, I saw him get blocked 4 yards off the line of scrimmage in a play, but then the other team threw a screen pass. What does he do? He makes the tackle 10 yards downfield. Yeah. But, I mean, he was getting blocked, but he didn't just quit. He goes over there and helps make their tackle on the screen pass, 5-10 yards down the field. So, no, he never quits. And that's what, if you can get that, if you can get 11 guys doing that on defense, you're going to have a pretty good defense. I mean, if you got the motor is what I look for on defense, and he's definitely got that. Yeah. I love that kid.
It'd be nice to have 11 like that all the time. Okay, KJ Jefferson committed to the Hogs. He is a quarterback out of Mississippi, dual threat guy, and seemingly really fits the Chad Morris style. This kid had another big game, just under 200 yards of total offense, playing just over a half. Correct, and now he's got 1,250 as far as total offense in 5 games.
Yeah, and that's about 950 or 975 passing and about 275 running. But he could have more than that running. But the coach doesn't use him as much running, just like Rick didn't use Connor Nolan that much as a senior, because as a junior, when Connor was junior, he had 2 quarterbacks. So they don't want to lose KJ to injury, so they're trying to protect him. But, yeah, he could rush for 100 and pass for 200 just about any game he wanted to, if he played the full game. But yeah, he's putting up some good stats, and he is a true dual threat quarterback. He's somebody that will come into Arkansas next year and have a chance also to make an impact. I mean, that's the thing about Chad. He's going to let all these kids have a chance to make an impact, but I think KJ can.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, a couple weeks down the road, we got Alabama in town in Fayetteville to take on the Razorbacks, and that's a big recruiting weekend, to say the least. 10 guys going to be on official visits. In fact, KJ Jefferson is one of those guys.
And Spivey.
Yeah, and Spivey as well. And Tim Anderson's a kid that is looking at Arkansas. He's a offensive lineman out of Saddleback College, and again, you got 7 other kids in here. Again, not all these guys committed to the Hogs, but most of them.
Yeah, you've got 6 of the 10 are committed to Arkansas. You talked about Tim Anderson, the offensive tackle. We've talked about the thing I like about him. He's a true offensive tackle. He's 6'5", maybe 280, maybe 275, 280. But he's very quick. He gets good pad level. He knows what he's doing out there at tackle, and he's got the quick footwork that you need at tackle.
Right.
And he plays right tackle for them, and so he's a guy that they really need to get him. That's one of the must-gets. I put him up there. And then you've got, Devin Bush is coming in, a defensive back from New Orleans, Edna Carr High School down there that's got a lot of offers. And, he can plays cornerback, but he can play safety too, but he's a guy that they would like to get. And then Catalan, we talked about him coming in, and Tarian Carter, who also is from Legacy. Both those kids. That's the 4 uncommitted ones. And then, of course, you've got Zach Williams, Enoch. Adonis is coming in that weekend. You mentioned KJ. You mentioned Amante. And then, of course, Eric Gregory will be here too, the defensive lineman. So there's 6 committed, but it'd be good to add some of those uncommitted. I mean, all 4 of those kids are kids that they'd love to get and would help them.
Let's close with this because a lot of guys listed here really bring that defensive talent. You look at this class, this 2019 class. Again, some offensive stars in here as well. But kind of speak to that because, we just saw this current Arkansas program play some pretty decent defense last night against the Auburn Tigers, the 9th-ranked team in the nation. But, some of these prospects coming in, you kind of like maybe what you might get here soon up on the D-line and then perhaps on the back end.
Yeah, there's seven of the 10 players are defensive players, Drew. And and 3 of them are the ones that's uncommitted. And so, I mean, they're putting an emphasis, and people like to play for John Chavis. That's a fun defense to play in. I mean, they've been put in some bad situations this year. We saw the game last night where there was constantly bad situations, but they don't always give up a touchdown. I guess that's what I'm saying. I mean, they fight. Team may get a field goal out of it, but it's a lot better than just rolling over and giving up a touchdown. They don't. And the front group here, and they're still recruiting more defensive linemen, but that front group is really playing well. Steve Caldwell and John Scott are doing a great job there, and then Chavis doing a great job with the linebackers. So, and then last night the secondary played better.
Yeah.
So, and they've had some issues in the secondary, in the fact that Callaway's not there. You had Kevin Richardson was injured. He'll be back, I guess, next week playing. So, I mean, they've had some personnel issues that they have no control over.
A lot of injuries there.
Yeah, exactly.
At the defensive back position. You mentioned the cornerback depth, and they've certainly taken a hit in that area this year. All right, Otis, appreciate it. Thanks very much. Again, just to kind of rewind, 10 guys on official visits for that Alabama weekend coming up in Fayetteville, the Crimson Tide and Hogs coming up a week from Saturday. So that's going to be interesting. A lot of guys in town. Going to be a lot of fun as far as recruiting is concerned. Back with more on the Big Trail after this.